Hey everyone, it's me, Kid India. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to just open a fresh After Effects file and just show you how to set you up to create this Islamic geometric pattern, but in After Effects and only using shape layers. Okay, so let's get started. Let's go to File, New Project. Okay, now when you open a new After Effects project, you'll see these two options. So let's go to New Option, New Composition. And let's go to HDTV 1080-24. So you have that YouTube size. 24 is ideal because you do not want too many frames in every second. And just choose a duration of 15 or maybe even 10 seconds. And that should be good. Now, one thing I want to just go over real quick is when you see this checkered pattern, and if you don't see it, it must be just black or whatever color that showed up here. If you press Command K, this background color. If you click on this, it just means that it's transparent. There's nothing going on in the back. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go to Layer, New, Solid, and let's choose a color that's a little bit off-white, not a pure white. And let's press OK. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to basically work with these two. The rectangle tool, where there's all these shapes, and there's the pen tool. So let's choose the ellipse. Okay, now we're going to come down here and we're going to use the proportional grid. And I'm just going to hold the center of this grid, and I'm going to press Command and Shift, and this will give me a pure circle. Now, keep in mind that if you have a color on here, you'll probably see that your fill over here is like opacity is like fully up at 100. So let's bring that down to 0. Let's press OK. And let's choose, well, the color doesn't matter because the opacity is 0. So, and let's choose the stroke width and the color to be black or whatever you want. So let's just choose red for now. And your stroke width, you can keep it at like 4 or anything you like. Okay. So here's one trick I really like to use is if you press Command Option Home or Control Option Home, you'll get your anchor point to be right in the middle of that circle. So this way you can have more control over where is your circle on this grid. Okay, so you can like zoom in and you can be like, oh well, it's not exactly there, so let's press V to get the mouse, and let's get that right in the middle. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this with Command D, and then I am going to hold Shift and then just move it along here. Command D again. Okay, and just move it along here. Command D again, and let's bring this here. Now remember, you always want your anchor points to be right in the middle of that circle, so Command Option Home is a good way to go. Okay, so I'm going to just bring this here. Remember, Command Option Home is the first thing you do on the first circle, so before you duplicate anything, make sure that you had the anchor point right in the middle with Command Option Home. So this is basically my first, my pattern made with, just circles. And I'm going to grab these shape layers, and you can use Prism. This is a really good script. I'm going to leave this description in the YouTube link. I'm going to put the link in my description, and you can use this to color all your layers. So I'm going to say all my circles are yellow. Now, let's go into the pen tool, and let's click here, and let's click here. Now when you do that, you want to make sure you click, because if you do this and you hold it, it starts doing this, and you don't want that for this case. Just click here, click out, and then this will give you control over where your shapes are going or your strokes are going. Okay, so let's put that there. Okay, and then this is really cool is if you duplicate this and you press R, you can like rotate this to -45. And then just make sure that, the anchor point and everything is lined up perfectly. And I didn't do that, so that's why this showed up kind of looking strange. So what we're going to do is we're going to press Command Option Home, and this will go right in the middle of that line, okay? So let's bring that right in the center. And now let's go ahead and zoom in and just make sure it's right there, okay? And then I'm just going to duplicate this layer with Command D, and I'm going to press R, I'm going to rotate this by -45. Now R stands for rotation, of course, and then this will give you a lot of control over how you want to do this. Now let's say you do not know what the next one is. That's okay. You can just do -45, -45, because JavaScript can do multiplication, addition, subtraction, whatever. Okay, and then let's press Command D again. Let's press R for rotation, and then let's go -90 -45. Okay, so let's zoom out now, and there you have your second pattern on top of the circles. So let's reduce the let's actually change the color of these to black or something. So now you can see how far we've come, right? Now you can still adjust these. I feel like these are not perfect, but I just want to show you how to get through this. Now make sure you click out of this when you choose shape layers, because right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the rectangle tool. We're going to choose the proportional grid again, and I'm going to come right in the center. Remember, Command Shift or Control Shift, and we're going to make our first square. Now remember, this stuff is done by hand when you do proper Islamic geometry on paper, but this is just going to help you get it just right. Now I have my square, right? Let's press Command D, and let's go to rotation, and let's make it -45. Okay, so it's not centered. I didn't do the best job there, but I did press Command Option Home just to make sure the anchor point is right in the middle. So this is looking decent. Now what we're going to do is let's just solo this layer. I'm going to press the transparency button. You can see toggle transparency grid, and I'm going to go down, and I'm going to go add trim paths. Okay, and I'm going to go to end. So I'm going to click the stopwatch here. Let's move this here because we want this to be 100% by the end of this animation. So let's go to 0 here. Okay, let's choose this. Choose both keyframes. Go to keyframe assistant, easy ease. Let's go to the graph, and let's make sure we click on this curve over here, easy ease, this one, and then let's just kind of do that. Okay, and that should kind of create like a smooth looking formation for your line. Okay, now one thing you can do is you can take these keyframes and then just paste it here. Okay, press U to reveal the keyframes, and then now you have this going on. Okay, you can do it on all the circles as well. Paste, 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 and you can press U to see where they are, and you can press space and just kind of like adjust how you want these to form. Okay, so this is the beauty of using it in After Effects. You can like adjust these animations however you feel fit. Okay, so this will show you how things are looking. Okay, you can do something fancy with that. I hope this helps. This should get you set up for the Islamic Geometric After Effects tutorial. Okay, so if you have any questions, just message me here on through my email. I'll leave it down in the description, or message me on Instagram, and I will get back to you. Okay, take care.